Yep, still talking about puberty. Yep, we've read that one. Digging up vegetables. Oh, and we can start giving gifts again. I haven't been keeping track of that. Skipping stones. Let's see, you liked medicinal roots. Let's go back to all these people that we've been skipping. You wanted an egg. Nemone, you like eggs. Peng is working in the lab taking notes on a vibrant Vertumnan specimen. Chief Engineer Instance has allowed me a great deal of intellectual freedom, she says. She does not see my age as an impediment to my contributions. In fact, she celebrates my youth. She says that it is the old who should look to the young for guidance, as we are unburdened by tradition. Peng allows herself a rare smile. In some ways, she is the mother I've always wanted. She adds quietly, my own mother was burdened by many things. Yep, read that before. Ooh, we got a bobber fruit here. Our dad is reading actual paper books. I think we've read that one. And lastly, let's check on Mars. We have read that one as well. Have a crystal cluster. Ha! Mars laughs, taking the crystal and turning it over in her hands and inspecting it. Well, I've had better birthday gifts this year, but I admit this crystal is pretty fabulous. I'll add it to my collection. Oh, and we can talk to her further. Mars is watching a vid from Earth on her holopalm. She gestures you over, and you sync your holopalm with hers. The auto track comes through your hairspeak. Mars knows every word. Beside you, she recites the dialogue perfectly along with the actors. Since the day we met, I devoted my life to finding you. I searched every train station, every coffee shop, every museum and park for you, she says. My every waking thought was only of you. Her voice goes higher. And I dreamed of you, she says. Every night my heart called to yours in the dark. I never hoped to dream I would find you again. I'm here now, she says, playing the first part again. I'm here, and I'm never leaving your side again. Mars drags her hands down her face as the couple in the vid kiss passionately. Ugh, she exclaims. I've seen this vid 100 times, and the end always makes me want to yart. They met on a train once and spend forever looking for each other. Like, move on, you know? It's not like living here where there's only like 100 people to pick from. You're in a huge city. Go find anyone else. Why do you keep watching it? Or, yeah, this movie sucks. Well, why do you keep watching it? Mars sighs exasperated. I've already seen everything else worth watching. Before you can protest, she puts up her hand. Okay, fine. I do like the city parts. Like, isn't it post-real to imagine cities so big you could get lost in them? So many people that you could meet someone and then never see them again in your life? Mars waves away the vid screen. Sometimes I think I should have been born back on Earth, not on this dumb spaceship. She mock punches the hole of the ship behind her. And those cities and people and the stuff you could do. Watching new vids, going to concerts. The only culture here is grown in a lab. Mars sighs dreamily. And the shopping. They have so much stuff on Earth. Anything you could dream, not just the rubbish our old nanoprinter can make. I'm bored of everything I own, Mars complains. Speaking of shopping, do you want to trade some kudos for one of my old jackets? My dad says I can't print more stuff until I get rid of something. I'd say 50 kudos sound fair? So, I have 50 kudos so I can get this cool jacket. Plus 20 persuasion and plus 2 bonus to straights. Yeah, sure. Why not? I've got lots of kudos. Mars takes off her jacket and watches critically as you try it on. Well, it matches your hair, she says, but it kind of puckers at the shoulders. It was really tailor-printed to fit me. She almost looks like she's going to take it back for a second before putting her hands up and surrender. No, I admit, it looks good on you. Makes you look posh. So what does that gear do for us? Because we've got the animal book right now, but I think plus 20 persuasion and plus 2 to straight is probably better than plus 5 animals and plus 1 to flushes. So now we want to aim for straights, which is... Oh, bonus to yellow straights. I was thinking it was just all straights because I wasn't reading the card. Whatever. It's probably fine. Alright, we are starting to get stressed. What do we want to do with our time now? I think that was the main event I was trying to see from the humanities, because that gives a lot more background on our colony. Actually, it would be good to get our combat up, because we're getting pretty close in combat and toughness to our next perk. And bravery. What do you get us? Combat and animals. Well, I won't say no to animals. Yeah. Well, if I'm going to do combat, here's some planning. I can give myself a bonus to combat and to physical challenges by switching out gear. And that's probably something I should do, is when I know I'm going to do something, intentionally put on gear that will help me. So let's do some defense training. There's so many people training in self-defense today that you have to break out into stations. What do you want to work, or what do you want to work on today? Vert space helmet training, capoeira, or smash things with your fist? Let's do some capoeira. Why not? Nem's been studying videos of other martial arts and wants to learn some sweet dance moves to show off in class. She needs a partner, and you jump at the chance. Brett watches you both, a skeptical look on his face. What does this have to do with self-defense? He says. The point of all this isn't to have fun, it's to learn how to not die. Whatever, you're too busy learning how to do sick handspin to pay attention. He rolls his eyes and stalks away, muttering about how you're wasting your time. You feel more in control of your body, though, which is undoubtedly going to help you in an actual fight. And we did get +1 combat. Alright. We'll do 5, 5, 4, 3, 2. Sure. Seems reasonable. Alright, we got the max score. So that gained us +5 combat, which did push us over, so we'll get a new perk. Moving on to mid-wet. New perk. New cards in the depot. Probably not going to waste my time buying them, but we'll check it out. You find Nem in the sports ball bleachers, intently focused on her holopalm. She looks frustrated by whatever is on it. Whoa, are you actually studying? Ditch that, let's play sports ball, or what's up? What's up? I don't know what to get Calm for his birthday, she grumbles. I have to top last year when I made up a sports ball trophy and gave it to him. She turns off her holopalm. I'm just running out of ideas, you know? What kind of stuff does he like? You should get him something practical. He'd appreciate something from the heart. What kind of stuff does he like? Nem shrugs. I don't know, cool stuff like sports ball and defense squad stuff? She smiles and rubs her nose. He's the best brother. He always plays with me and the triplets, even if he's zonked from work, and he never gets mad or teases when I get in trouble. He's just like... Nem sits up straighter and squares his shoulders, imitating calm. You know, Nemi, she says, lowering her voice, you have to play by the rules. Nem picks up at a blue-scaled scab on her knee. I love him the most out of anyone here. I just want to get him something good. You should get him something practical. He seems like a practical guy. Yeah? Nem says. I was thinking that too. Like, I don't want to get him a little kid gift, you know? Like how Mom taught us how to make stuff with macaroni and glue. Problem is, what should I get him? She continues. He can already print basically anything he needs with the nail printer. Pair of sunglasses or a new canteen? New canteen. Sure. That's not a bad idea, Nem replies. I can make it in his favorite colors and put a little strap on it so it goes on his belt. She nods. Alright, it's settled. I'll make him a new canteen. Hey, Squirt, what are you doing up there? You look down at the pitch where Calm is standing with a sports ball under his arm and an easy smile. Is this knucklehead bothering you? Nem gasps and laughs. Calm, she whines. Slane is my friend. We're just talking. Calm drops the sports ball to the ground and rolls it under his heel. It's I'm getting the team together to run some drills. He can come too. Nem looks at you hopefully. Sure, I could use the practice. Nem cheers and scampers down the bleachers, launching herself into a full-body hug with Calm. You follow her descent more cautiously, listening to her chatter with Calm about her days as they walk together across the pitch. She really loves her big brother. +1 toughness and more friendship with Anemone. Yeah, I know my stress is high. Kang. Yep. Instance is giving her freedom in the labs. Cal. He's still liking the smell of the air. Diffs. Skipping stones, we've read that one. Our dad. He's giving us flowers that he thinks aren't poisonous, but isn't sure. Yep, looking at the stock of vegetables. And Mars. Yeah. Complaining that Anemone thinks Calm is cooler than her. Let's see, so we can do one more activity and then we'll have to relax. So... toughness, maybe? Or bravery? Oh, and we were also going to check out the shop. So... bravery and toughness. We could do sports ball. Let's check out what's new in the shop now. Mars seems like the most useless kid. Yeah, to some extent. She's just focused too much on being popular. Supply depot, let's see. So the new combat gear that we got would be the Tase gloves, +20 combat with a +2 bonus to red pairs, +50 combat, and a ×2 bonus for pairs. And then autoplay best hand, -2 to cards. Which I don't think is worth it. Like, autoplaying the best hand sounds great, but if every card is -2, then the best hand is not going to be enough to win the challenges. And we haven't read the notice board in a while. Anything new? Colony food shortfall, -90%, dangerously low. Colony security rating, 10% red. Gates will be closed during glow, and a strict curfew will be in place. Plan accordingly. Security officer, Rhett. So yeah, food is terrible, and security is also terrible right now. And nothing has really changed with leadership. Yeah, so I think I'm going to do sports ball for the toughness and bravery. You've heard Security Chief Rhett is on the lookout for lookouts. That is, for kids to chill on top of the walls all afternoon and count Xenos. Sounds way better than going to class. He gives you a once-over, eyes narrowed. Alright, he says. Look over there. At the end of the field, what does that sign say? We have Perception 20 or greater, so we can read it. Alright, we'll see you, Jarenda. Let's read it out loud. You can read the sign easily. It says, if you can read this, your eyesight is 20/20. Huh, what a weird sign. What does that mean? Rhett nods in approval. Good, you pass. Come back next month and I'll put you on the roster. That wasn't sports ball, that was reading a sign. So this card is going to turn yellow. Alright. There we go. I think that's probably about as good as I'm going to do. Could have gotten one higher. Gained 5 bravery, still didn't pass us over the threshold, and 1 toughness. We are on late wet and maxed on stress, so we have to deal with that this month. Still sitting on the benches. The brain requires nearly continuous supply of glucose. Tang says, glucose is commonly found in foods we register as sweet, which is why humanity has evolved to crave foods that are high in sugar. Tang looks up from a holopad with a thoughtful look. I have very little desire for sweetness, she muses. Does that mean my brain is more efficient than that of other humans? I don't actually have anything you would like. And it's your birthday, so maybe I should have saved some of those roots. Huh. Oops. Better planning there. He's got a lot more seeds to put in the ground. Skipping stones, and I also don't have anything he likes. It's also his birthday. Funny thing about twins, that. Yeah, we read this one last time or whatever. You spot your dad lying on the ground in the soft grass, looking up at the sky. He zooms his hand across the field of vision like a spaceship, then looks over with a dreamy smile. Hey, kiddo, he says. Sometimes I can't believe we're back on solid ground. After 20 years in space, it still doesn't feel real. And our mom. You haven't seen your mom at mealtimes for a while. You're probably just missing her. She works really hard here, so she's likely working through lunch and dinner and then begging leftovers from the kitchens. And Mars. Mars does a little twirl, showing off her shimmering dress. You wouldn't believe how many kudos I needed to use to nanoprint this dress, she says loftily. I wouldn't even bother telling you, it would only make you jealous. Alright, so we need to relax for the month, and I'm going to choose to do it in the greenhouses again, and hope that I can finally get leveling up on my pet card. Nope. Your mom's tending her gardens as you relax nearby. You're both happy to leave each other alone, but you can hear her muttering to herself as she pulls weeds. Every day, she mumbles. You'd think I was never here at all, with how some of these weeds grow. I thought that bringing only nice plants would mean we wouldn't have to weed as much, but these vertumnant plants, they're unstoppable. She pulls hard on one weed, which turns out to be a huge creeping vine that yanks out a few flowers. Ah, I just want one place on this plant that's ours. We'll help her pull weeds. You get down there and help your mom pull weeds for the better part of the afternoon. It's surprisingly hard work. By the end, your back and shoulders are aching, and the palms of your hands are on fire. +2 biology. Your mom dumps a huge armful of weeds into a wheelbarrow. These go all the way to the edge of the colony, she says wearily. Whatever plant these roots belong to, they're invading my garden. She turns towards the walls and yells, You stupid pink bastards, stay out there where you belong. Alright, we will get rid of this 0, because I want to get rid of all of our 0 cards, and it finally gives me the option. It's been a long month of being cooped up indoors while it poured rain and everything got too muddy and gross to play outside. You and the other teens are in the lounge again, and everyone's getting a little antsy. Tangent and Cal are bickering about something, and Dis must be bored enough that he's letting Mars paint his fingernails. Nem is trying to do a dance she learned from watching holovids, and she's failing miserably. The sound of her music fills the room. You're starting to feel a little off too, but like, it's weird. Like you want to yell, but at the same time you want to take off all your clothes and streak through the colony square. Nem dances a little too close to Mars's collection of nail polish, bumping into the table and sending them all, and herself, clattering to the floor. Hey, watch it, Dis snaps. Dance your stupid dance somewhere else. It's not stupid, Nem sniffs the sniffles from the floor. You don't have to be so mean to me. Boo-hoo, Mars teases. What are you gonna do, dance about it? Ugh, you're all so childish. Who even cares? Hey everyone, just shut up, Cal exclaims from across the room. Honestly, you all fight all the time. You stay inside where it's nice and dry, and you don't appreciate how hard everyone else is working. It's just whine, whine, whine. You're not better just because you work outside, Tang joins in. You're not special, Cal. If I wanted to, I could work outside. She opens her holopalm and flies her finger over the screen. There, see? Next month I'll be working in geoponics. How do you like that? Then you can nag me about my soft hands all you want. Udicott pokes her head in from the command corridor. Children, keep it down. We can hear you all the way from the bridge. Everyone goes quiet for about a second, and then explodes into arguing again. Udicott throws her hands in the air and retreats down the hallway in defeat. Time to go wild. Fight, fight, fight. Everyone just shut up or calm down, everybody. We're a voice of reason. Calm down, everybody. Everyone ignores you and keeps squabbling. Mars chases Cal and everyone else chases her, and somehow you all end up in the classroom. Suddenly Mars shouts, Okay, everyone, everyone. She claps her hands. 1, 2, 3, look at me. Everyone, shut up. Everyone stops arguing and looks at Mars in shock. I have an idea, she says. We should decorate the classroom. No one seems excited by this prospect until she adds, with toilet paper. Come on, it'll be pretty. Now everyone's on board. You can feel yourselves getting excited. This is so naughty, you might get in trouble, but who cares? You're having fun. Make it into a competition. We're gonna join in. You split the classroom in half and break up into 2 teams, and whoever completely covers their half first is the winner. Everyone agrees readily, even Cal, and he hates competitions. Your team is doing well until the other team sends Tangent over to sabotage your progress. Mars complains as Tang runs around tearing down your garlands, but Nem, on the other side team, insists that there are no rules against sabotage, so it's totally fair. This makes Mars shriek in indignation and go flying at Nem, knocking her to the floor for a vicious hair-pulling battle. All the noise attracts the attention of Chief Engineer Instance, who throws her hands up in dismay at the state of the room. The kids scatter before she can make anyone clean up. The next day, you all feel terrible. It feels like your arms and legs are made of lead, and it takes so much energy to do anything. You can barely make it out of bed. All the energy from yesterday has been drained out of you, and then some. It lasts for a week. Some of you can't even get out of bed, and when you do, your moods are all over the place, aggressive, sulky, impulsive, until your batteries run out and you sleep for over 12 hours straight. 10 stressed. You're resting in the lounge with your friends, watching holovids and grazing on roast pixie beans, when your dad and Chief Engineer Instance come storming through the door. You! Instance snaps, smacking the bowl of pixie beans out of Mars's hands. Stop eating those this instance! Mars looks like she's about to smack some sense into Instance, but your dad steps in. I'm sorry, everyone. We were wrong about the pixie beans. They're not safe for you kids to be eating. You've been feeding us poison? Mars shrieks. Oh, ew, 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 ew. Do my dads know you tried to kill me? Your dad spreads his hands. No, they're not. Don't worry, Mars. Calm down. They're not poison. They're just a chemical in them that hyperbonds to estrogen and testosterone, your big teenage growing hormones, and the brain likes binding to that new macromolecule a lot more than the regular kind. It's been making your moods unpredictable and causing periods of hypo and hypermania. When Mars just stares blankly at him, he laughs awkwardly. Translation, he says, it's been making you kids act silly and feel sick. I'm sorry. Instance frowns. If it's doing this to kids, it's not long until it builds up enough to affect the rest of us too. Until further notice, no one is to eat a single pixie bean. -1 colony food and status ended hormones. Your dad looks distraught. Lulu was right, he says, collapsing in a nearby chair and rubbing his eyes. She didn't trust these things, but she's still going to be pissed that we don't have another successful food source. You look at him in shock. You hardly ever see him swear. It must be worse than you think. Your dad sits there in silence for a long time. Alright, glow season. You find Dis illuminated by only the glow of his holoscreen. It's easier to read when it's dark, he explains. There's less glare. This is the best season. Ooh, we got a crystal cluster over here. Let's talk to our mom. Your mom gives you a stern look. Be careful, she warns. Now that we know for a fact it isn't safe out there during glow, I won't have you venturing close to the walls. Stay where I can see you, close to the ship. Nem is sitting in the sports ball dugout. Yep. Read that one. And everyone else is hiding during glow. So, what do we want to do? Still getting our toughness up would be good, or our bravery. So I'm tempted to do more sports ball. Yeah. We'll do some more sports ball. Oh, we also unlocked lookout duty. What'll that do for us? Perception and animals. Our perception's actually getting reasonably close to the next perk. But no, I'll do sports ball, I think. Training in the dark is really hard. You lose a lot of sports balls under the bleachers and in dark corners this month. You submit a request to engineering to make some sort of glow-in-the-dark paint so that it's easier to spot the ball, but it gets rejected for not being a priority concern. Haha. I can see that. 5 kudos if total equals the goal, and that counts whether it's the normal goal or the super goal that we can potentially get to. Actually, we'll go there, and then 4. Yeah. And then I guess toss on, not a 0, a 2. So that gets us our super goal. Nope, that's down to 26. So we want to get exactly 27. Would be nice. What if I shift all this down? There. There we go. Exactly 27, so we'll get the 5 extra kudos. And yeah, that 28 would have been our max score, which would have gotten us 1 kudo. But this is fine. So a bunch of bravery, that crosses the line, and a toughness. Another year, another glow. Everyone's pretty sure there's going to be an attack this year, so the colony is on high alert. You're collecting glowflies in the geoponics gardens with Cal and Nim when the sirens begin to wail. You all stop what you're doing and look at each other nervously. Your parents run off to help defend the farms, telling you to get inside the greenhouses and stay quiet. Nim declares she's going to the walls to watch the soldiers fight. She knows a good spot. So we could get inside and stay quiet, or watch from the walls with Nim, or help defend the gates because our bravery is 20. We're gonna help defend. Rebellion! And we gain the heroic status. You scramble down from the walls and are immediately faced with a seething wall of Hopeyes. You kind of thought there were only a handful of these usually peaceful creatures in previous years, but there's swarms of them now. And not just Hopeyes. Once your eyes adjust to the chaos, you can see large creatures that look like walking bushes, these wild centipede-looking things with long spider legs, and at least one giant many-eyed thing that's hovering clear off the ground, defying gravity. They all seem to be incited into a frenzy, attacking everything in sight and trying to get through the walls. It's dark and chaotic. Com sees you through the fray. "Selene," he shouts, "get to safety!" You're suddenly not sure this was a good idea, but then you look up and see Nem shouting encouragement from up on the wall. Let's fight tactically, or fight bravely, or run away. We'll fight tactically. We have a combat 30 or greater. Even without our card that we have equipped, we still would have enough. But yeah, fight tactically. Oh, a card becomes 2. It's so hard to deal with. I don't know. We'll toss the 0 in there. And then just like a 5 and a 4. Sure. We'll toss the 1 in there. Maybe that, and then toss in a 5, I guess. Cool. And then lastly, let's use some of these reds we've got kicking around. 5, 5. I don't know. Sure. I don't know. Good enough. Alright, it was the best score. Always nice. And we gained +3 combat. You're not even trying to win. There's too many of them, and you're unarmed. But even your vulnerability can become a weapon. You use your knowledge of the buildings around the gate to bait anything that slips past the defenders into circling back so they can be picked off by people with actual weapons. Nem acts as your air support, calling out when certain shortcuts are blocked by the creatures, so you always have an escape route. Eventually, the defense forces manage to push back the creatures. The rest of their broken swarm flee back into the wilderness. Com jogs over to you breathlessly, breathing heavily, and slaps you on the back. "You're one brave kid," he says. "Stupid, but brave. You really helped out back there." Nim whistles and hollers from the walls, and Com shoots her a grin. We gain 10 kudos and some more friendship with Anemone. Your parents are arguing quietly at your little table. "I'm telling you, it wasn't a fluke," your mom says. They're not just wild animals. They have a plan. Fields, the lights. "Okay," your dad replies, taking her hands across the tabletop. "We have to tell people what we saw in geoponics." They look up, noticing you in the doorway. Your dad's worried expression quickly changes to a smile. "Hey, Rutabaga. What happened to the fields?" Your mom stands up. "Don't worry about that," she snaps. "Get to bed. It's late, and we have a lot of work to do tomorrow to clean up." Auntie M says, "After 30 runs, I still see bits of story/dialogue and streams I haven't run into when playing." You've done 30 runs of this game? Really? This is only my 3rd. So, and I started a new save, obviously, so everything is fresh. Yeah, so we moved on to another year completed. Most friendship gained was with Anemone. Distant Tangent. Gained a bunch of skills, a bunch of cards. Food went down, which is really bad. Defense stayed the same. Lost a couple of kudos. Lost some stress, which is good. And Rebellion stayed the same. So let's start the next year. Ooh, a new perk. For Bravery, extra card draw, which we already got that, I think, for Reasoning as well. No. One of these. Engineering, extra card draw at the start of a challenge, so we'll get 2 extra cards.